Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. We are back once again in full off-season mode. I'm sure you guys have noticed we have had a ton of off-season content coming your way. Now I know Worlds is right around the corner. I still want to get in plenty of Worlds content as well, but there's only so many videos I can post a day right now, and honestly, the World stuff, it's still going to be there. We're going to have a ton of Worlds coverage over the next month and a half, but these new off-season stories that are just popping up left and right, you got to talk about these. You got to cover them while they're hot, so that's why today we are covering yet another big off-season story about a player who's kind of flown under the radar of a lot of people, especially if you are an LCS fan and you aren't super familiar with this guy out in the LEC. There are some new rumors of another potential player who, yeah, he had an expiring contract, but, you know, off-season talks, free agency talks, rumors for him are kind of heating up. We are going to be talking about Razork in this video today and how he might be CLOUD9's next jungler. That's just a maybe. But if you do enjoy this video, make sure you guys drop a like on it. I would appreciate that so much. It helps out the channel and this video specifically more than you know. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. We're on that road to 10,000 subscribers. We are getting there. I mean, lately it has been absolutely insane. I think we've had like over 200 subscribers this week. If we keep that up, we'll get to 10,000 subscribers, no problem. And consider checking out my Patreon, patreon.com/IamGerm. With that being said, let's get right into this one. So Razork obviously was the jungler for Misfits this past year. He was pretty good. In spring, Misfits was good. Razork was pretty good. But in summer, Misfits and Razork took things to another level. I believe Razork finished top 5 in the LEC MVP voting. I'm pretty sure that is correct. I don't have that in front of me right now, though. But I know he was up there. He was in those MVP conversations and discussions. I don't really think, there was a chance he was going to win MVP, but he was at least one of the names being thrown around because obviously Misfits was a team who overperformed in summer. They won a lot of games. They took some games off good teams, and they didn't have a super expensive roster. They didn't have a veteran roster. They didn't have, a ton of cracked players at every single position or anything like that, but they had some young, hungry players who came up and performed, and Razork and VDO are absolutely seen as kind of this core and this future of the Misfits lineup. But unfortunately for Misfits, Razork has an expiring contract. Also, Misfits has a very, very talented Misfits Premier team, and they seem kind of likely to maybe bring some of those players up. So the big news coming out here today is from a couple of different sources. This is, something that Zers retweeted, but this is Eros or something. He said sources are saying that former Misfits jungler Razork has declined recent contract renovation offer. I don't know, just a new contract offer, contract negotiations for now, and he will be looking to enter free agency. He also drops out the spicy bomb that some NA teams have already shown some interest in him. Now, again, this is an account I'm not super familiar with. I don't know how, good or reliable or whatever this guy is, but he seems like, from what I've seen, he seems to be doing a pretty good job. He seems to be pretty reliable, pretty credible, and to have some big sources. But, again, he's not the only one talking about this. We also had this from Esports Maniaco, so you guys know I am a big fan of. I really trust their work. I think they're super reliable, and I think they're doing an awesome job. They said, we got to translate this real quick. They said, according to Eros, Razork won't be renewing with Misfits Gaming, and there would be some NA teams interested in the Spaniard. So again, another source kind of just confirming that. I know Ines Ficado, I'm pretty sure, talked about how he's heard these things as well. Zers also got his 2 cents in there where he says yup, that he, kind of confirming that he has heard these things as well. So this is a very big deal. And again, Razork, even though he doesn't have necessarily the brand name or kind of the name value as like a Reckless or a Perks or somebody like that, this guy is really damn good. And again, he was one of the top junglers in EU this last year. He was one of the top players in EU this past year. He's very young. He's still developing. He has a bright future ahead of him. This guy is going to be, and a lot of other people are saying this as well, one of the hottest free agents in the West. And there is going to be a bidding war for him. And that is also kind of why it seems like he might be headed out to North America. Because again, once free agents get hot, once bidding wars start, once a lot of teams get interested in players like this, the money gets so high that it prices out a lot of European organizations right away, and that might be the spot that Misfits in. But then again, the reports are coming out that Misfits seems content with just promoting their Misfits premier jungler. I think it's Schlatten, something like that. I can't remember exactly his name. I believe that is their jungler. Apparently, he's a very, very hyped up prospect. I don't follow ERLs very, very closely, but I know it does seem like, this is a guy people are very, very excited about, and they're not going to throw out crazy money to Razork, even if they have that crazy money, which I'm not exactly sure. I know they are an organization with some North American backing and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, again, some North American teams do make a little bit more sense. And interesting enough, there is actually two North American teams, top North American teams, that could be looking for a very, very talented jungler this coming offseason and actually have a decent amount of money to throw around. So we're going to go to the LCS rumor spreadsheet by Zers. Zers put together this whole spreadsheet that he updates, pretty regularly of all the rumors and everything he's hearing for the offseason. So you guys should definitely go check this out. It's the pinned tweet on his Twitter account. But when we take a look at who he has Razork potentially being rumored to, it is on this spreadsheet both Team Liquid and Cloud9. Now, I think this is very, very interesting. And the other thing that I actually forgot to pull up is this tweet from Razork that came out where he says, not necessarily he says, he had some emojis say for him. He tweeted out some clouds the other day. And this was actually yesterday. This was before, this news came out about about him declining his contract offer, declining to resign with Misfits, all this stuff. It's what people had been expecting. This is a rumor I've been hearing for a couple of weeks now. But then he tweets out some clouds. There's rumors of him going to North America. There's also rumors of Cloud9 potentially looking to move on from Blaber, potentially kicking Blaber. Yes, this guy's won 2 out of the last 4 MVPs, but Summer 2020 was not very good. Summer 2021 was not very good. MSI 2021 was not very good. Now, maybe Blaber goes out at Worlds, has a crazy performance. Maybe he kind of, proves a bunch of people wrong. But either way, Cloud9 could be looking to land a big import jungler. It could be Jankos. He is still obviously possible. And it could be Mr. Razork here. Obviously, they already have a import with Perks in the mid lane. And right now they have Sven at 80 carry. It's rumored that Sven will not be getting his green card in this offseason. So this would lead to, Cloud9 having to go with a North American 80 carry. Obviously, they've already tried out King in the past. Maybe they could go back to him. Maybe they could reach out and go for like a tactical or somebody like that. Maybe a Danny. There are some other possible names as far as North American 80 carries go, but is it too much of a coincidence that Razork is tweeting out clouds? Why is he doing this? Now, we did see on Reddit Jack actually come out and say something like, we have not spoken to Razork, we have not spoken to his agents, we have not spoken to his team, we have no interest in him, we think he's a good player, but we're not interested. Again, what does that mean? Does that mean anything? Some people are saying it's just what he has to say. Obviously, with this team preparing for Worlds right now, some people are saying he's capping, and some people say, oh, hey, these rumor accounts, they suck. They're wrong again. But either way, I think this tweet is super, super weird. I don't know what's going on. And then, obviously, the other potential landing spot, Team Liquid, they have Santorin. He's been doing pretty good, but he's missed a ton of games this year. Nobody really knows what his future looks like in terms of health and everything. And if Core JJ gets his green card, they have an import slot open. They could hang on to Tactical. They could slot Razork into the jungle. Either way, both these teams could potentially have an opening in the jungle, could potentially have an import slot available, and could potentially be looking to spend a lot of money and going out and getting, a top talent. And either way, this would put Razork in a very, very good position to be on a top North American team, to be consistently going to Worlds, to be making a bunch of money, and get to prove himself, under a big brand, a big org, and start to really build his name and his brand and his value up. A ton of things that, while Misfits is a good story and, they develop a ton and they were a pretty good team by the end of the year, a bunch of things that Misfits can't necessarily offer to him. So, again, I haven't heard a ton about Razork throughout this whole offseason from a lot of fans and everything. Not a lot of people asking questions. He's kind of under the radar. He's not as hyped up and exciting as a self-made or Jankos. But, as far as on the Rift, as far as talent-wise, this guy is good. And he could be coming to a North American team near us very, very soon. Also, don't count out G2 in the Razork sweepstakes either. But, yeah, it seems like he might be headed to North America. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so, so much. Leave a comment down below. Where do you think Razork will end up in 2022? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.